to Trailblazing Career Tech Minds, the podcast where we explore the journeys, insights, and innovations of Baldwin Preparatory Academy. Baldwin Preparatory Academy is the first of its kind in secondary education in our region and even the Southeast. Education and industry are integrated at Baldwin Prep, with industry partners involved in every step of the way, from curriculum planning to the design of industry-specific environments for education and training. So buckle up and get ready to embark on a journey of discovery, innovation, and inspiration. Welcome to the forefront of career technical education. Welcome to Trailblazing Career Tech Minds. I'm your host and career coach, and today's Trailblazers are Baldwin Prep's administrators, Miss Angie Phillips and Miss Lavender. They're pushing the boundaries of what's possible in their fields and uncovering the secret to their career tech trajectories and discovering the strategies they've employed to navigate their ever-evolving landscape of career tech. And I also want to introduce my co-host,
Carol Turner, English teacher at Baldwin Prep.
Yes, all right. Well, this is our third episode. We're going on our third episode now. And we're just so excited to have y'all here today to learn more about what y'all been doing on the summer. We're just so excited. So thank y'all for coming on.
We're glad to be here.
Yes, thank y'all so much
You're
for
really
coming
good
on.
at this.
Thank you. I try, I do have a little country in me, so sometimes I don't like to hear myself on camera.
I don't think anyone does.
No, yeah, none of us do.
So what have y'all been doing all summer?
Well, I don't know if you've heard, but we're opening this new school.
Yeah.
The one you're just talking about. So we're doing everything that it takes to open a new school, and one that's innovative and new to our state and region. First of its kind. It's not cookie cutter of the things that you do in opening any school. So there's lots of new along with the traditional in opening it. So everything from every aspect. I mean, buses, CNP, scheduling,
Expectations, teacher training, all the things.
The layout of the building, the hiring an entire faculty. We had 5 core teachers who were hired a year in advance, but then we had to hire the balance. I say had to. We had the opportunity to, because it was really pretty cool to be able to do that. The balance of our faculty, and of course adding additional staffing for custodians, and then we also hired a CNP staff. So there's been, and that really just scratches the surface.
Oh, I know it
Learned
does.
so much about what it takes to open a school.
I know you guys have been working so hard around the clock, many hours a day. So I know that's just scraping the surface when it comes to getting in the school. So I asked Mr. Mowdy the $1 million question. Do you think that we are going to be there on August 1st?
Yes.
We will be.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, it will. You got the positive minds
Yes.
here.
We hope to get certificate of occupancy for the south end of the building, which includes administrative offices and some of our classrooms and even some of our CTE program classrooms this Friday.
Ooh,
This
fingers
Friday.
crossed.
So we hope to get in there next week. The south end, which encompasses the shops, as well as some of the upstairs pods that we will have our 10th graders in. That will be closer to time, but they are working around the clock, and every time we go, it's amazing
Absolutely.
how much more has been done.
I mean, just the progress from one week to the next is transformative.
The really
It's
cool
amazing.
part right now is the furniture. Is the cool
Oh,
furniture.
absolutely. Oh, my gosh.
They did a great job. I was
Oh
not a
my
part of that,
gosh.
but yeah.
They had a
it's
whole
stuff.
team the day that I was able to go. They had a whole team of kids doing, like, unwrapping furniture,
Yeah.
putting the furniture together like it was a whole event with all the furniture that was going in. It was really cool to see that.
Some really neat, unique furniture as well. I think one of my favorites we saw yesterday was like this pod. It was like
cool.
like a
That
box.
desk is the closest thing we'll have to a desk in our
Yes, it's like you sit in this almost like
Oh.
a couch, like little box area, and then there's some outlets behind you. You can plug in your computer. There's a little desk space that kind of pulls out. And
Are we at Baldwin Prep or Google?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
Yes.
It really is innovative. The building, and I'm glad the furniture is innovative with it because Miss Lavender was like, I need one of these in my office.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yes.
Pretty cool.
I think there's so much excitement around the school, and what I've seen is that everyone from the people that are in the building making it happen to everyone that's going to be ready to move in, and our CTE teachers, I mean, everybody's just coming together to make this happen. There's so much excitement around it. But I do love that y'all had a chance to see the furniture, because that's what we're modeled after, is a school that had that collaborative learning space. And the students really have more flexibility in their learning in terms of how comfortable they are and what preferences they have. So that's totally different for our school, and what makes it different from a traditional school.
Yes.
Definitely.
How excited are
One of
you
the
as
many
a
things.
core teacher to use spaces like that?
I'm very excited. You know, I know Lauren from previous schools at Robertsville High School, and one of the things that I did, and another one of my colleagues, Miss Eames, is that we didn't have any desks in our classrooms. And initially that was a little shocking to some people, because they're like, you don't want a desk? We have a desk. But we didn't need one, because we liked that cooperative learning space and flexible seating. So we had chairs and pillows, and just making it really different, because we want the students to be comfortable and also kind of be excited about where we are and where we're learning, because we're in there so much. So that's really important to us, to have that learning space that's conducive to collaboration and group work, because they're not used to that, and that is all that we'll be doing at Baldwin Prep pretty much. It's going to be everyone coming together and doing things at their own pace.
I love
You
it.
really don't want it to feel like learning. You know,
Right.
you want them to walk in and go, "Wow, what is this? This is neat." And you just get those authentic conversations going, and you have a good time. And before you know it, they're like, "Oh wow, I really did learn something." And I mean, that's the goal.
What you think about us as adults? If you go into a collaborative space with flexible seating and you're able to sit where you're comfortable, and you start engaging in new material, discussing it, talking about it, learning about it, versus you go into a classroom that's in rows and stiff desks, well, there's a difference in your mindset.
Completely.
And the conversation that happens, and the way you're approaching learning.
That's completely different. I know that it makes a difference for me. What do you have any advice, Miss Lavender, for students that are coming into Baldwin Prep this year, like starting off the bat? I mean, what would you tell your kids that are coming to us in August?
I would say first and foremost, just to be proactive. You know, that there is a lot of self-paced learning going on in this environment, because the vast majority of the academic learning is online. You know, it's what we call a flipped classroom. And while there are teachers in these pod settings and they are doing the occasional direct instruction, there is a lot that the students are going to have to navigate independently. And so really encourage our students to be, proactive, and to work on time management, to really be advocates for themselves, because all of these teachers, like Ms. Phillips was discussing earlier, we got some rock stars. I mean, we got the best of the best sitting here and working with you, and they are all approachable and really genuine, and they want, and we all want you guys to succeed. So most importantly, be an advocate for yourself, and speak up when you don't understand, or you may be falling behind, or you have a different question. Definitely speak up. Make sure that you are pacing yourself and those time management skills. But I would say most importantly, the biggest thing is enjoy it.
Right.
I don't know how they couldn't.
Yeah, like this
Yes.
is an incredible opportunity to graduate with some pretty unique talents, and have a really authentic learning experience, really buy into that process.
Right.
I've heard really wonderful things about you, Miss Phillips.
Well, I'm so glad.
I haven't actually got to work in a school with you yet, so I am really excited to work with you guys on a team. That brings me to my next question. Were you a curriculum leader before? Really into curriculum?
Yes, I was a curriculum leader. It's funny, my degree was to teach English. I actually taught art. My background, work history was actually accounting.
Okay.
So
Wow.
maybe my brain's a little confused. But I do think it has helped me have a love of just learning in general, and that you don't have to be tied to one subject, and that's one of the cool things about
Mm-hmm.
our teachers and the interdisciplinary cross-curricular instruction that they plan to provide for kids to see the beauty of the different subjects and how it correlates with CTE.
So that's
But,
what I wanted to
yes.
ask you. Tell us about the process and like what it's going to look like to connect the core curriculum with CTE programs. How do you feel about it? Tell us everything.
Well, initially I thought, gosh, that's a big ask for our core teachers to know the CTE programs and find ways to pull, CTE into their instruction. But then when you begin to think about that in construction, in their instruction, but when you begin to think about construction and the geometry that's used, the math that's used, when you think about our students, and one of the things that we're scored on, like on the ACT, is proficiency in understanding complex text. And a lot of times I think students think that is just Shakespeare, and it's beyond that. It is, the schematic, the blueprints, the
absolutely. Those
the
manuals.
the complex recipes and instructions in culinary. So each program has its own complex text, and so I think there are so many correlations
Absolutely.
and lessons and ways for each to both CTE teachers as well as our core teachers to really enhance the relevancy of the curriculum for our students.
That's so cool that you were like a part of pioneering that way this is just like unlike anything anybody's ever seen in our state, in our region. So I just think that's so cool.
Well, I think credit has to be given, and it's my impression, I think Mr. Seeley, our principal, came up with the idea of the core teachers really making that connection with CTE and pulling that in. One of the things that kind of makes sense to me too is putting some of it, the onus on our students. I'll go back to that reference of like complex text. To have in your English class, ask the students to bring in an example from their program of complex text, so that they're able to make that connection of that sort of thing. But I will tell you something that I am really excited
Let's
about
hear it.
that is very innovative about our school, beyond the CTE and core working together, is just the way our core teachers are going to teach, because we're not going to have traditional classrooms. While we will have some, for many of our classes, our students will be in pods, and they will have a group of team teachers, two to four teachers, who will work together to facilitate the learning in that class. And academic teachers, core teachers, are asked to really differentiate instruction. To if there's a group or a student that is needing small group, individual instruction, to be able to provide that. They're also asked, for the ones that have gotten it, to provide enrichment activities. We will be able to divide and conquer and really provide our students what they need wherever they are in that particular lesson or concept that they're learning.
I know, and I was just thinking about you the whole time. I'm like, Carol's already kind of told me some plans she had for, her English classes, and I'm just like blown away.
Well, if I can piggyback like what's been said already, on the core side, what's been different for us is not just teaching our standards and skills that do lend themselves to career tech classes as well, but we're also working with what's called simulated workplace. And that is a program that we're implementing where students clock in and clock out, and they have behaviors and responsibilities that they would have in a workplace setting. So as an example of that, what CORE can do to support that, I was mentioning earlier how with projects, we're going to have roles that would be simulated like a workplace with a project manager, committee chairs, coordinators for logistics and public relations. And so it's getting them used to those roles that they might have in their careers, and they can get the experience in a space where they can practice, get feedback, and just get better and better every year on what that looks like and how effective it can be.
It's like a real job.
Yes.
And what I like about it as a career coach is that the students can actually finally see in real life and relate, like, oh, I actually will use this when I get out of school. I actually will use this at my job, because it is sometimes hard for them to see, like, I'm never going to use this again. But they can really relate it back, I feel like, when it drips down into our core classes. So it's just so cool.
And my favorite part, I think, is that they're going to take their learning and share it with an authentic audience. So we want industry partners to be an audience that listens to presentations or comes in and shares their expertise and knowledge with our students, because I think that's important to bridge those relationships with our industry partners and our students, so that they know that these are authentic, real people that are coming in that are interested in what you're doing. So let's showcase that.
Mm-hmm.
And Carol really has touched on two of the ways that our school is very different than traditional schools, and that is the simulated workplace and industry investment. I don't know if there's any group more excited about Baldwin Prep than industry. They are wanting to partner with us in so many ways. They are, many of them are helping us financially. They are also willing to put forth their time to serve on advisory committees, and some of them will come and do some lessons, guest speaking, that sort of thing. You're very well versed.
Oh, yeah. I know we got a ton of people that are going to be knocking on our doors for sure come August. I already have some people reaching out wanting to get involved, and so I keep saying I'm excited. I wish I had $1 for every time I said how excited I was about this.
Everybody, absolutely.
Yes.
I think just the other day we got a very long email about all the different culinary opportunities that industry people have for coming in and co-teaching or modeling a meal. And I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to try all those things.
Chef V is incredible. She is so organized and so planned, and she's already reached out to her advisory committee, all these fantastic chefs and restaurant owners in our area, and she's already got signups for them to come in for guest speaking and all these competitions that our students are going to be participating in.
And they just got back from New Orleans, right? From a Pro Start thing, is that right?
She did. She had a training in New Orleans. And also,
it looked really cool.
Oh my gosh. I mean, all year there's all these opportunities with Career Tech and Core to advance our learning and just get to know the latest and greatest. And so Pro Start is a competition that Chef will compete in the spring, and students are experiencing anything from pitching a marketing proposal for a restaurant to the actual event of cooking entrees and desserts in a time situation and in a space that's very limited. Mm-hmm. So they're practicing at a competitive level these skills that really are a testament to their hard work and their training that they've done all year. So I really love that, just like Pro Start, there's Skills USA as well that will be done in the spring. And this is more for welding, construction, but there's opportunities for cosmetology and health science as well to compete in these events. But everything I've observed from that is that the students are applying what they've learned, anywhere from public speaking to extemporaneous speaking, proposing something, marketing, entrepreneurship. There's just this range of opportunities for them to thrive and really showcase what they're talented in naturally, and the confidence that they've gained throughout the course of their learning.
Mm-hmm. We had several current students who made it to the national competition in Atlanta that was several weeks ago. And to see the national competition, the size of that,
and the competition,
incredible. Wow. Yes. And as Carol was speaking to, the wide range of areas that students can compete in. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool.
I need to ask Chef, is she hiring a taste tester?
Oh, that would be absolutely. We kind of
I don't think she'll have a shortage of volunteers.
I bet she doesn't. Well, overall, what are you as administrators looking forward to the most this first year?
Well,
and I know it's hard to pick.
It's really not for me. I mean, to me, it's all about the students. I'm happiest when I'm interacting with students, when I'm advocating for students, and when I'm in the building with students. So that's going to be the biggest thing, is seeing them. I can't wait to see their faces when they come in.
Me too.
Their reactions. I can't wait to see our teachers co-teaching in those pods with those students and how our students engage and interact in that setting. It's really all about students. It's just to have this opportunity for them is tremendous. So
I think I'm excited about the employability part, really getting to push those, real world, authentic, soft skills that we use on a regular basis in our jobs, being able to teach the kids how to shake a hand and, greet someone professionally and how to resolve conflict and to problem solve together and work collaboratively and, build a resume, how to interview, how to speak like we're doing now. I mean, so many of those skills, our kids are graduating and they have all the knowledge, and the technical skills, but they're lacking that employability, the soft skills. And so I am really excited about, practicing that and teaching that with our students.
I would agree. At the heart of it all is our students and just the experiences that they'll be able to get through Baldwin Prep. And so being a small part of that with CORE, it's just exciting to see that our students are going to thrive and come out at graduation with so many more opportunities through college or career, whatever they choose. So I think we all are here for them and just ensuring their success.
Absolutely. Oh, this gave me chills a little bit. Well, I just can't thank y'all enough for coming on today. Y'all are amazing.
Thank you for having us.
Super excited to get to work with you all.
Thank you for putting this together. It's
Yes,
fantastic.
ma'am. Yeah, we just took it and ran with it. I mean, we're nowhere near professional right now, but hey,
I'm impressed.
Big microphone.
We just really want to share with everyone everything that's happening and just spread the word of all the great things that we have planned, and we definitely want to have y'all back. So
Yes.
keep that in mind once we open up, that we want to continue to share all the great things that we're doing.
absolutely
It's gonna be
sharing is
so-
caring.
Yes, it's going to be so fun to look back at this one day
I know.
and see how far we've come
I
since
know.
the excitement of opening. And I hope the excitement, I know it's going to stay there every year. We're just going to grow.
Absolutely. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, that's our administrators from Baldwin Preparatory Academy. We look forward to having you back in 2 weeks. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.